This week on Wrestle Wednesday, is WWE offloading pay-per-views from the network?
Loading snacks.
What's good, Loading Snacks Universe? Your boy Jokes here, and it's time for another edition of Wrestle Wednesday. Yeah! Appreciate the love, fellas. So, this week, a specific topic, something that I'm not quite sure about just yet. According to an article from Sports Illustrated, WWE, of course, had their quarterly meeting about their earnings for the previous year. And on said docket was the conversation about actually selling the rights to the pay-per-view events and other specific content to major streaming services. Now, where it was very vague and not specifically saying any particular streaming service or how this was going to actually work, this was an interesting topic that actually came up. Now, since the network launched back in 2014, all the major pay-per-views have been accessible through the WWE Network. Every month, $9.99, whatever pay-per-view is showing, you got it, you watched it. Now, of course, if you weren't someone that subscribed to the network, you still can go on pay-per-view and you can still pay uprights of $50 or $60 for whatever said pay-per-view. I don't know why you would do that in this point in the day when you could just pay $10 for the network every month, but if that's what you want to do, go for it. So hearing this, I was like, wait a minute. Would they really go ahead and take pay-per-views away from the network, where you would have to only purchase them on pay-per-view or through whatever streaming service again? I don't quite think WWE would do that. I do think what they would do is expand out to other areas where maybe people don't necessarily watch WWE or maybe don't watch wrestling, and you would be able to order pay-per-views or watch said content without actually having access to the network. Now, I think that would be a pretty interesting thing to do, because if WWE was to remove the pay-per-views from the network, I think that would be an absolute travesty, because all I know is I'm not paying $50 and $60 every single month again. That time has long since passed. When the network came about and you were telling me I could pay $10 every single month just to get the pay-per-view, sold me. But if you're going to take away the one major selling point of the network, I think you're going to do yourself some disservice. Now, granted, there's a lot of content on the WWE Network, so I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that use the network for those older matches, pay-per-views, WCW events. I'm sure there's a lot of people that use the network solely for that particular enjoyment. But then you have the batch of people who only subscribe to the network just sheerly to watch the pay-per-view events every single month. And I think WWE will be absolutely insane if they decide to go about that route. On top of it, they pretty much give the network out free every single month. So if you don't have the WWE Network, you can subscribe for 30 days for free and get to watch whatever pay-per-view it is. Versus, do I really want to pay $50 for some random name pay-per-view that probably will never ever happen again? I don't know. But this will be very interesting to see how WWE rolls with this. The other thing we do know is there has been talks about introducing a second tier into the WWE Network. So similar to how like Netflix has their normal streaming service where you only get full HD content, but then you also have where you get the 4K content. Now, there hasn't really specifically been any details on what that was going to look like. Originally, from other interviews and things it was supposed to actually happen in January. But of course, January has come and gone, and we haven't seen any additions to the network other than, of course, updates and more content. So if they were to introduce a second tier into the network, I'm not sure what that would look like. Maybe the upper tier would include the pay-per-views, and then maybe the lower tier would not include the pay-per-views. I could see maybe something along the lines of that. I mean, I'm still all for if you say, hey, $15 a month and you get all the pay-per-views. I'm not too mad about that, because that time and day of $50, $60 pay-per-views, I can't do that anymore. That's a lot of freaking money spending in 1 year on WWE pay-per-views. But I'm really interested to see in the next few months what's gonna go down and what may happen, and try to see how WWE is trying to expand out. Because I know these past few months, as far as revenue, has been on the decline a little bit. So I really want to see what they're trying to do to combat that. Not to mention WWE 2K20, which was kind of an absolute failure. Maybe not a complete, it failed. Never mind, I'm not even going. But what do you guys think? Do you think WWE may remove pay-per-views from the network? Or do you just think they're going to expand out what it is that they're trying to do? Drop some comments down below. And until next time, this has been Wrestle Wednesday, and I'll catch you later. What's good, Loading Snacks universe? Did you think that was too sweet? Well, do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you're watching us on. And also, jump on over to patreon.com/Loading Snacks, where you can support us in everything we do and pick the tier of your choice. Much appreciated.